What is up, everybody?
Hello.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Everything's going good. Sue says I have no button to push play. Is that correct? Or are you
You
live
can just
now?
click on their names, Trapper, and it'll show across the bottom on chat.
Yeah. Sue, we are live now.
Trapper, first time.
I
Hello,
understand.
everyone.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, Trap?
I'm doing
Your
good. How
show,
about you?
brother. Take it
Huh?
away, man. Take it away.
Nah, you got it, Mike. You got it. Go ahead. You're good at it.
It's a learning curve. It takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I think for the first couple of years I got nervous every time I had to play, and I'm not saying you're nervous, but I would literally get these jitters, and stumble through my openings and stuff. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're here. We're hanging out. We'll see how the chat flows, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how
Trapper's
it goes.
first time. You gotta click on the names, Trapper, to bring up the what people are saying.
Yeah.
So we could see. Oh, Debbie, hello. Hey, y'all. Waiting for the show to start.
I'm going
Snow
backwards
stuff.
here. Yeah, the
You gotta
snow
read
is
them out, Trapper.
the snow is
Hello.
coming. I don't think we're gonna get much snow here. I mean, it's staying down towards Columbus.
Yeah. Sally.
Go.
Sue says, I have no button to push.
Yeah.
Either do I. It's weird being on the other end of this. I like it.
So, Junior, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Can't complain. It's nice to see you back. I met you about a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago.
I think it was about a year.
Glad to be back.
I see LIB kind of dipped out again.
How you feeling, Junior, from your hit today? Doing better?
I'm better. I'm better.
Good.
Neck's still a little stiff, but we'll it'll heal up.
Snowing for the first time in Dayton, Ohio, Jack. It's really coming down. Roads are getting bad. We ain't got nothing today. Nothing.
Yeah,
but I hope late tonight we get something.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to get anything till tomorrow.
I don't know. My son texted me and told me he got to Columbus okay. So, but it's starting to snow now down there in Columbus.
Awesome.
So he had to go back to school today.
I got a video drop coming tonight, right after the show. I'm hoping YouTube's doing their thing with it. So the plan is to have it drop tonight, but you know how YouTube is.
Taking a old time.
So, what's been going on with the hunts? I know I haven't been out much. I mean, the last time I was out hiking by myself.
Yeah, on yours, man. You had something following you.
That's what we talked on the phone a little bit ago today, and you were telling me about that. I don't know if I've seen any pictures of it or anything. I mean, what did it look like? Like I said, when I tell everybody, when I'm out there hiking, I'm out there paying attention to the trails. That's why I want, everybody that watches the channel for Bigfoot stuff. That's why I would love for them to watch my hiking videos, because you never know what they're going to find out there. I mean, Sally Joe, 2 years ago or last year or something, I was hiking on the Buckeye Trail and she caught something large, Sasquatch looking creature following, like pacing with me through the woods. I didn't see it until she sent me the pictures. So that's why I tell everybody, you know, I mean, because when you're out there hiking, most of these sightings and people are, you know, reporting this stuff is it's not the big, you know, it's not us out there doing the Bigfoot research. It's the hikers and the campers and people fishing and people hunting and doing outdoor activities. Those are the people who are seeing it. Because I think those things, when people are out there enjoying that stuff, I think those creatures are like kind of like, you know, drawn to that, kind of like, you know, kind of trying to figure them out more because they know they're not out there looking for them or something like that. You know, they're not hiding from them.
Correct.
You know, so what did this thing look like? I mean, I don't think I even seen pictures of it.
It was tan and light brown.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you the pictures. I just haven't had no time. Actually, since I last talked to you, I've been go, and it's been a little crazy, but I'll have to send you the pictures, which makes me believe when me and Mike were out in my home area, it's the same one, and it looked like the same one that I seen there. Came up, got a picture of it. Looks exactly the same one, just a little bit looked like it had more cream color to it, but it looked like the same one, same kind of face feature. So I wonder, since the home area is not that far, you know what I'm saying? I wonder if it loop in through there.
That's all the same. Yeah.
I was probably literally not even 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing for them to travel and move. And, you know, I mean, we separate areas, right? Like they give them different names, different parks, right? But it's all the same thing. It's just separated like, oh, we slapped a road here and we slapped some, you know, a neighborhood over here. And so now this area is called this and this area is called this. But what's separating that now? You know, just us. We're the ones that are separating it in our minds, you know, figuratively and metaphorically, however you want to put it. And yeah, but to see the same thing in two different spots is not uncommon by any means. Yeah, you know, and then you guys, right? What I'm thinking about right away is you guys are talking about this tan color, and then that's pretty much what you found on stuck to the tree too. Was, you know, some combination of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to be clear with everybody, I mean, when I started that hike, there was nobody in the parking lot. My vehicle was literally the only vehicle at that time.
Which makes me believe that they kind of show themselves on purpose. It's not, it's cool to catch them and say, yeah, we're catching them on video. But is that the same one that you had the encounter with? That's what I want to know. Is that the same one that gifted back the necklace? That's
True.
what I want to know. You know, obviously it knew you were coming.
That's true. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been in that area where that video was filmed at. And if you guys go watch the video, it tells you, I actually say where I'm at in the video. So it's been a long time since I've been back to that area. Where I was hiking at was new to me. I'd never been in that area, but the area that we go to is literally right around the corner. It's not that far.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, literally, like you probably, it's not literally that far. A couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, like when me and Jack were driving, and I'm like driving down the road, and I'm like, I'd love to get back there, and I point to this spot, and it's like some farm with a bunch of woods behind it or whatever. And I'm like, I'd love to get back there, but again, like I'm saying, like, you know, there's a bunch of roads and a bunch of different things along the way, but when you think about it, those woods go, you know, continuously through, you know what I mean, and it's, hey, you know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
if you even if you bring up the top of a map of Pennsylvania or Ohio or whatever, right? And you see all these state parks, right? And it's like state land this and state park that and then national park this and blah 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 with the Catskills. There are all these different names for things, but they're all interconnected and interlocked. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's you get my drift.
You got to think like this city was all forest at one time. On the farthest map, like Portage County was all forest. There was just a farmland, place where they chopped wood in a little grocery store. It was farm. I mean, then it started becoming farmland. They started cutting down the forest and building more houses. So 100%, even your house, Trapper, probably sat in a forest at one time. You know what I'm saying? Was forest at one time.
Yeah, it was
It's
where my house is at was a giant farm. The old farmhouse is still up the road, actually, but this whole subdivision was a huge farm.
Yep.
So
yeah. So you're correct, Mike.
Yeah,
You're correct, 100%.
Definitely.
Yep. And I've been wondering if it's just like when LIB has his experiences, are they, 1, 2, or 3? Like it seems like I'm catching on to the ones that people are finding and the ones that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the Christmas after I stopped shooting videos, I've been out in the forest, just setting the camera, not taking the camera, just going out and doing my thing. And it seems like it's kind of the same ones that I've been seeing. Go back in the pictures, it's the same one everybody's been seeing. You know what I'm saying? Even in areas, these new areas that I've got, I go there and it's like the same ones.
Right.
I mean, I named a couple of them, like, because it was that, it got to that point.
Yeah.
It was, but I felt like that was almost like that was my Sasquatch teacher, and not even almost like that was the one that was almost tasked to me. That was, kind of guiding me along and maybe protecting me along the way, and more than maybe, we won't dive into me too much, but yeah, we go into the history of the grass, man. Like I did that with Jessica Jones and Cryptid Huntress, and we dove into a little bit of the grass, man. And it does tend to be, as far as history goes, one of the most aggressive, I guess. Like the grass man is typically an aggressive species, right? So they say. But we have to look at history on a grand scale. Right, like let me take Afghanistan for an example, right? Afghanis are aggressive towards us, right? Like they're so aggressive towards us and this and that. But why? Why are they being aggressive? It's not because they want to be. We're there, right? Like we're pushing up into their business. We're dropping, things and driving through their towns and opening their doors and building bases in their neighborhoods, and right. So how should they react, right? So these are the things that I challenge people to look at. Like look at things from all angles and flip sides. And if the Sasquatch are particularly aggressive, why was that the case? Was it because that was its characteristic and it was just some ferocious, horrible thing, or was it led to that point by some, lead up?
Yeah.
True.
Because when you talk about, it threw a rock at me, they can take your head off with a rock if they want to.
Oh,
right.
Clean. With, you know what I mean? Think about when you put up one of those nets in your backyard with the freaking, the target on it. You can whip a baseball and hit that thing, without trying.
Right.
So what makes you think they can't do that with a rock and take your head off? They can. So if they miss you, it's not that they're throwing it at you. There's something else going on there, whether it's playful, whether it's get out of here, get out of Dodge, or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't put that in the category of aggressive, or people are very quick to say, "Oh, I was attacked." I was attacked. Like you probably were so damn scared, and maybe you got, into an altercation or something where you really, 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 really got scared and thought your life was in danger. But attacked is, if you got attacked by this thing, and I've seen one head to toe. If you got attacked by this thing, you would not be you wouldn't be talking about it.
Correct.
You wouldn't have a mouth to use. Because they would have got slapped off your face. You know what I mean? Like, it's... I'm sorry to say, but, you get my drift.
Yeah.
Right.
Jack, Jack, I want you to answer this question. Why do you think a lot of other people don't believe in them, or cryptids, paranormal, or dogmen? Why do you think? I'll let you and Mike answer that.
Why should you? If you're out in the woods, a lot of people, I don't want to say their eyes are closed to it, but if you grew up in a family that's been to church, I mean, chances you're not going to believe in it. It's God. You know what I'm saying? What else is there? God, the devil, demons. I mean, if someone years ago, prior to me having my own experience, said Bigfoot exists, I'd have been like, I've seen a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all in, you're picked. I think you're picked. Just like you were picked to have see one in the bushes, look back at me and go, it's beautiful. Its eyes are beautiful. I didn't get to have that experience. I want that experience. I think it's like pick and choose, I kind of think when you go out there and we're going out to look for it now. So our eyes are wide open. Someone that's going out there and hunting, like you took your son out, your son had an experience, but he's your bloodline, and I think once you get one to attach to you, it will follow you. It will follow your bloodline. Your son had an altercation after that with fishing. Yeah. Something at the, rocks hitting the water. Hunters, you're not out there. I think when you're hunting, your senses are more enhanced, but people don't want to believe in that. When you mention that Bigfoot exists, they think you're crazy. But they did the same thing with aliens. Did the same thing with...
Yeah. I mean, out of sight, out of mind, too. People only care about what directly affects them. You know what I mean? People care about what directly affects them, and Bigfoot does not directly affect anybody. They don't give a shit. And that's just a matter of it. Think about, like, even cancer, right? Like, people don't really care about cancer until somebody they know or they get cancer, right? And now they're a big advocate for it and whatever else, right? Like, and I'm to blame. I'm not saying, like, I'm not pointing fingers, but, like, as far as autism goes, until I had autistic children, I wasn't really, knowledgeable about it, and didn't really, it didn't directly affect me. And then once it did, it started to become a big part of my life, right? And the same thing goes with Sasquatch. But think about it: a hater is a hater is a hater, and a non-believer is a non-believer. And now, you think about it right now, you go out and people know that giant catfish and giant bass exists or whatever, right? But you're a fisherman, and everybody you know is a fisherman, and you live in a fisherman community, and you go out and you just caught a record-winning bass. First thing you're going to do is take a picture of that thing, weigh it, get as much proof as you can, because if you just come back with a story, everybody's blah, 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 laughing you under the table, right? And this is an easy target type of scenario, right? So you get a lot of trolls and hear a lot of people in here, and and when there's a lot of people that will come and just attack you for it, and then there's a lot of people who will just write it off completely. And it's just an easy thing to do. That's stupid. That's just a myth. That's just a joke. It's a guy in a costume, blah, 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 blah. Right? And, there's a million different ways this can go. I mean, it depends on the individual, but those are some reasons why.
I mean, my mom is one, she was a school teacher, then retired, then she became a minister. So my mom's a minister now. I've talked to my mom about it. My mom knows what I do and stuff. And she believes, even as a minister, she believes that it's possible for something like that to live out there. She's not against it, even though she's a minister. If it is, she believes it's a living creature, So, I mean, because she'll ask me questions. She goes, well, why are you doing that? Are you out there to hurt it? She has a lot of questions for me and stuff. And I'm like, no, we're not out there to hurt it. So she believes that there's something that could be out there. Same with the paranormal. Even though she's a minister, she believes in ghosts. She says she's seen them. She has a lot of people in her church that have seen them. So, I mean, I think you just got to be more open-minded to it. My mom's in the woods all the time. I mean, she's a huge nature buff. I mean, she gets mad at me for going hunting. I mean, she's a nature lover. So I don't even talk to her about going, hunt, like deer and stuff.
Yeah, there's different types of hunters. You know what I'm saying? There's hunters who respect nature and love nature and really respect the animal that they're killing, and they put it to good use. You know what I mean? And then there's the other guy that's out there with a 12 gauge, and he puts a round in the deer's stomach and destroys everything, and all the meat, and leaves it, lets it wander up and leaves it, right? And then, so I hate some hunters, you know what I mean? I get that. As her being a nature lover, I can understand that, but I'm sure there's ways you can, there's even a show on TV called Meat Eater, I think it's called, and the guy, he's very good at showing both sides of things, you know what I mean? I hunted people, and that turned me off from ever wanting to hunt an animal. I mean, not that I ever did in the beginning, but it really was a big turn off for me when I got back. I didn't want to touch anything, that had gunpowder in it. But I'm starting to come back around, and I do think I have an interest in maybe doing something like that. I don't know if I can go as far as deer right away, maybe, but I'd like to try and maybe do like a turkey hunt or something to that effect. And then, and because what's the difference really? I take my son fishing, we catch a fish, it's the same concept, right?
Right.
It's the same exact concept. It's the exact same procedure. It's just people don't look at fish and say, oh, look at that. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, look at that doe-eyed fishy. You know what I mean?
But I honestly believe you're picked. And then once you're picked, because like you had your experience, Trapper, now your son had his experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Just like ghosts, man. You see one, you're going to be looking for the next one. And then, like my experience, I was praying for whatever was attached to me to leave me alone. This, I'm not. I'm kind of like intrigued by it,
Right.
But I believe you're picked. But I believe other people out there, like hunters, like we were just talking about, I believe they hear stuff that they can't explain.
Oh, they do.
But then they write it off because who wants to, a lot of people are like, keep up with the Joneses.
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, Jack, I get a lot of emails from hunters and fishermen. We have boat captains and hunters, and very close to where I live, and they're like, thank God for you, because I've wanted to say this, but please don't say this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me say this to you and leave it here, please, but I've needed to say this. And I just listen. And I respond back to them, and usually that's where it ends. Really, honestly, the conversation doesn't go on any further. It's like they need to get that off their chest, but they do hear things, Absolutely. They hear things, and these are guys who are out there all the time listening to the woods for 8, 12, maybe overnight, into the morning, sunrise to sunset, maybe whatever hours they're permitted, right? Until they get their prize or whatever they need to fill their freezer for the winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're listening to everything, and they can't be loud, they can't make noise, they can't do anything. So all they're doing is listening. So they hear everything. So when it's something, when it's something they can't explain, like the one guy just told me he was out in the Pine Barrens, and this is the most recent one I got, but he heard this blood curdling howl for like 30 seconds long, and it vibrated his chest up in his stand, and we don't have wolves here or anything, not even coyotes. We don't even have coyotes on the island. So
right.
Anyway, he knew it was something, but he didn't know what. He didn't really want to know what, but
right. I mean, even back in the day when, I wasn't doing this, when I was out there hunting, you hear all kinds of stuff, I mean, when my son was like 6 years old, I would take him out hunting with me. He would just sit there, and I had a hunting blinds in because he was too young to go in the tree stands, but he would sit there, and we heard, I lived on my family farm at the time, and we're all the way out back, and a big tree crashed. Well, him and I went and checked it out, and it was a live tree. It shouldn't have fell, and there was no reason it should have fell.
Right.
And his first question to me was, Dad, what did that? But that's before I even started doing any of this. So stuff out there does happen, and they do hear things, and and that's why I tell people when I'm out there hiking, please watch my videos, because I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I mean, I'm worrying about the trail I'm on, or following the markers on the trail and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Junior, here's one for you. Pat sent that.
Did I get hit with a rock? Actually, Pat, no, it wasn't a rock. It was probably a good, maybe 3/4 inch, I'd say, stick that hit the back of my neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. It was big enough to send me tumbling.
Ow.
Yeah, and it was about 3 foot up in the air, that tree that was down.
It was about to where my knees were. So I mean, I still had a pretty decent fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Luckily, it had padding on. I was just saying today, luckily none of those little trees went through his clothing.
Yeah, there was, like, when I got up, there was so many, like, fresh baby trees and branches and stuff out, and like there was,
that was bad.
down by where my foot was, there was actually another log sitting under there with a broken off piece that was pretty sharp.
I tell you what, whatever that damn tree you guys got out there, my hand is still scabbing. It's still healing from whatever that tree. Yeah, it's like a cactus, but it's not. It's like it looks like a regular tree until you touch it.
The thorn tree.
Thorn tree.
That son of a... Listen, man.
I got one right here.
Not a big fan. Not a big fan.
No. I had one go through my boot, and so did Trapper.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't break.
I didn't mean to get off topic. No, they don't break. No. They break your skin. Junior, not to get off topic, but I don't know. Maybe you're getting battle tested, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to tap in a little more, but that's what it sounds like just off rip. You know what I mean? And I've gotten a few things come through while you were talking, Jack, that I just, that are probably more for a personal scale, and I just shut my mouth a little bit and listened. But
yeah, I think it's we've had this happen to a couple of guys. You know this, Trapper, and those guys never came back. I mean, we had a guy jump in his car and 360 out of there, left all the stuff. didn't care. And,
Yeah,
you know,
we did.
I think it was just a test.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at us, Trapper. We could have never, we were supposed to be scared, excuse my language when I say this, shitless, when that night when we had to drop down to the ground and, you know, we're laying there on our backs like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I think that was meant our test. Like, you know, are these guys going to, because they could have ate us. They could have ate us, man.
That thing was so close. You could actually, it was cold that night and you could
Feel
actually
his breath.
feel his breath.
Yeah.
He was so
You can
close.
feel it in your chest. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. And we passed, but we could have easily said, we're done, man. We ain't going back in there. I don't know what that was. You know?
Right.
Right. That night was a crazy night. Well,
yeah. It was
it's good to digest those things and come back later and look at them from different angles. You know, a few years back, there was a guy who had some incident happen, and he swore up and down it was a Sasquatch that had him pinned down, and it was mentally, you know, had him locked in telepathically and was just threatening his life and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't think that's what he was dealing with at all. I don't think he should have spoken while he was emotional and still traumatized. And he had 99.9% of everybody scared out of their mind to go into the woods and do anything. And he, you know, this was a diehard Bigfoot guy. And he's like, I quit. I'm done. I'm never on that. And then he went off grid, you know. And the damage control off that was insane. And, you know, I continued every day to stream and go in the woods and go in the woods and go in the woods and go in the, and show everyone the other side of it. You know, like, look. You know, for every one thing that happens, and for every one sighting, for every one bad encounter, for every one, you know, good encounter, whatever, there's 1,000 times where not much is going to happen. You know, and people shouldn't be scared of the woods, whether it's daytime, whether it's nighttime. You know, if you're on the trails, if you're prepared, if you're being safe, you know, you shouldn't be scared to go out there. You really shouldn't be. You know, it's a little different when you do what we do. When you go off trail, you go poking around, you start doing things a little differently, but that's a whole nother story. But I don't feel like people should be fear of the woods itself and
No.
and the species itself, you know.
Yeah, because the woods are a beautiful thing, especially if you're just out hiking, you know, out there camping, being safe, you know.
Yeah.
Mike said what we do, you know, we go off trail, provoke, poke around, find answers. And, you know, things may happen to us, you know, one video or one live out of 10, 12 that we post. You know, and it's just basically, I guess, a time to time basis.
Yeah.
That's how to put that.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Jack fell out.
Yeah, he did. It says device not connected.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I mean, he's trying to get back in. Sally Joe says it's not for the light. It's not for the light at heart. That's for sure.
Couldn't agree more. And, you know, just not even the whole, like I was just saying, the whole Bigfooting part. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't love outdoors, they don't love you back. You know,
Right.
you beat you up. You get poison ivy, you get tick bites, you get mosquito bites, you get thorns cutting your legs, ripping your pants. You know, stuff gets hooked on you, and you got to rip it on. Whatever else, right? You get bumped and bruised, you trip, you fall, you know, you twist ankles, you gotta, you know, it's not for everybody. That's for sure.
That is for sure. I mean, some of the stuff that we've been through. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even begin to think about it, bro. Like, and that's why I'm trying to go while I can, but I can't wait to kind of like look back at all the things I've done.
Right.
But that's why I love to have this video diary here, and that's pretty much what I've created. It's probably it's a mess, compared to like your and Jack channel. Dude, it looks really nice and it's organized, but I jumped into this whole thing like not knowing nothing about nothing. I just was like a guy with a camera who was gonna go. As soon as I got back, I would put the videos up, and I didn't know how to edit up till like a few months ago. So like if the camera turned off and then I'd start filming again, I would put up like part 1, part 2, part 3, and like instead of like just put them together. I literally, that's how bad I was up to a few months
ago. Docu series kind of thing.
It wasn't that good though.
Oh my God. It was just like the last time that, Mike, when you were here. I mean, I took a huge fall coming up that mountain.
Yeah.
Coming up that hill. I mean, it was kind of stupid for me to do. I mean, I should have took the trail up, but no.
No. I mean, I was talking about that the other day, and I don't know if whatever was up there wanted us going up there necessarily. So I don't know. It looked like you had your footing pretty well, and then all of a sudden you just didn't.
I didn't.
Right, I'm back.
Now we gotta stop. We gotta stop talking about it.
Yeah, we gotta stop talking about that.
For some reason, the computer says updating restarted and didn't even update. It was like, what? It just restarted.
Here's Sue. Do you guys think weirdness is getting worse or the same? Just wondering.
For me, it's definitely picking up. I've seen a big change from 2023 to 2024, and coming into 2025 is already heightened. There's like no slowdown.
The longer you stick with this, the weirder it gets. It doesn't revert back to less ever. So what I mean by that is every question that receives an answer, it opens up another 100 questions. You know what I mean? I guess it's called Pandora's box or whatever, the rabbit hole, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, it's the longer you stay involved in this, it starts with this one thing and then it just spirals, and none of it is normal. Like paranormal is my normal is one of my favorite sayings. Like,
yeah,
I had a couple of hoodies that said paranormal is my normal.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more people, like people that do the paranormal, that just do ghost hunts. I mean, everything's paranormal. Even the Bigfoot world is paranormal. But people that are out doing ghost hunts, I'm trying to get them to step into the forest, once in a while and see if you get something strange. Because if you're doing that, you already have the glasses on. If you're out there, for instance, MT, MT was paranormal. He wasn't out there, and then it escalated into doing the hunts with us because it was doubling up. It was like he was getting the ghost action, we were getting Bigfoot action, but it's all paranormal.
Yeah,
right.
Step into the forest, man. If you do paranormal and you're watching, take your cameras out in the forest, add some more to your channel, and it'd really help the Bigfoot community too. Hopefully bring it out.
That's true.
I got a friend who's gonna hook me up with a paranormal group out of North Carolina. They travel all the way up and down the East Coast, and I'm gonna talk to them and be like, hey, come out into the woods, see if you can find something that I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to be really careful, man, because like I say, you go knocking on doors you don't understand, something's going to open that you don't want, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Safety is the
definitely
key.
true.
Yeah. Understanding is the key. Good intent is the key, you know. Like when you asked, why am I touching the tree? I'm giving the forest my intent.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like that one guy we had with us when we first started. You know, I mean, the night one of the nights we went camping. I mean, we were just walking out, and he was getting bolted by rocks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and he started off in front of us, and then he went behind us because he thought it was us doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah, he did. That's right. I remember. Yeah, because he started getting mad at us because he thought we were doing it. Like, no, we're way back here. We're not doing it. Then he got behind us, and still he was getting pelted by rocks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he opened a Pandora's box that he shouldn't have. I think
We warned him not to do what he did, and we caught what he did on film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, but yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff. So I mean, I don't know, Jack, how long we've been doing this now? We've been doing this
4 years, coming up on 4 years.
4 years we've been together.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, disrespect is not tolerated out there. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Where is it tolerated? Really, nowhere.
Right.
So it really, it carries out there, and it means a lot. It really does. It means a lot about what kind of interaction you're gonna have, if any. If any, you might get you if you're lucky, you'll get a cold shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, we go out there, all of us together, and we have these glasses. Let's just say they're glasses. We have the glasses. We could see the stuff. We could hear the things that aren't normal. We know what's happening. Take somebody with us that doesn't, and they're seeing the action, and they're getting. And we have, Trapper. We've taken people out there that didn't believe, and they walked away believers. Some ran away believers.
Yeah. I mean, look what you did when you took me out for my very first time. I mean, I was on the fence. It really was. Yeah. I mean, the business I have, I mean, I'm always in the woods. I mean, and then tracking, I mean, and you took me out there and you had me come across tracks on purpose. I think you knew they were there, or you knew where to find them if they were going to be out there that day.
Yep.
And I did, and I was just blown away. Yeah. I was just so blown away because I could not describe it. I could not figure it out. I needed answers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, the first hunt that I went on, I think, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. First time out there. I believed in the ghost aspect of it, but everything else I was kind of on the fence, and here I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Scary. To some it's scary. It's evil. It's not evil. It's always been here.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably the most evilest thing on this planet.
Oh, without a doubt.
We kill things. We hurt each other. We're mean. I think there's a law with these creatures and with the ghost things. I think there's a law that they can't break, but some do, and some people get hurt, but I believe these, we're the most evilest thing on this planet. Humans are. And I think these things are scared of that,
Yeah.
but I think the veil is being lifted. I think in my time, I seriously 100% believe before I perish, humanity will have an alien encounter. And when that happens, the ball will get rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the things that are going on now.
Yeah.
The government can't hide things no more. Technology, and that's why they said AI will destroy humanity, because the truth, you won't be able to lie. The government can't even lie anymore. All these documents coming out now, they're coming out, talkers having meetings and about UFOs, telling us where they live in the ocean now, when we all thought, hey, look up, and the other people
I've been
said, look down.
I've been saying that for years, bro. I'm like, stop. I'm like, if they say look up, look down.
Yeah.
And and I always said too, like, there's no way we only seen 7% of the ocean. There's plenty that we've seen that they don't want us to see. They don't want to show that we can explore it because there's stuff there that they don't want us to see. Whether it's tunnel entrances or entrances to Hollow Earth or an alien spacecraft or whatever, I don't care. I'm not trying to give you an answer. I'm just saying, think about it. And when you look at a submarine, what does it look like? A space shuttle. You know what I'm saying? It only holds so many people, and it has to. You know what I mean? Like it's the exact same thing. So
Correct.
just think about things. Like I hate that I send my kids off to a school that I know is teaching them a bunch of shit that they don't need to learn. A bunch of stuff that is going to, in essence, brainwash them. But I also have to understand that that's what they need to do to get to where they need to go, because it's tough for people like us. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've said it for a long time. It's very, very hard to live in two different worlds. It's very, very, very hard. But you have to fucking toggle that line. You have to find that line that you gotta fine tune and toggle. You know what I mean? And
right.
It is what it is.
Right. Absolutely. I feel the same way. Some people will always just be blind, and that's okay. I mean, they're not meant to believe in ghosts. They're not meant to believe in aliens, even if it's right in front of them. The proof is there.
My 3-year-old daughter has a security blanket. That's what the veil, the iron curtain is to these people. The curtain that's pulled over their eyes. That's what it is for them as adults. They want to, believe that they are the most important thing in the world, and they have a chance to become something special and something great, working their way up the chain in their company and this and that, and that's all there is to it. And no, thank God. I used to always say, man, I pray that there's more than 9-to-5s in traffic and politics. I pray to God. It just so I didn't even care what was out there. To me, I had my eggs in one nest, and it was Nessie. And but that was just something that I locked onto as a child and never let go of. And it ended up changing for me when I bumped into a Bigfoot. But even still, I love the idea of what could be right below that surface that we don't know about.
Right. That's the good thing about it. I mean, I always, people ask me, are you embarrassed that you look for Bigfoot? No. Why? I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. A U-Haul's not going to follow behind me in the hearse. When I go on the ground, my stuff ain't going with me. So no, I mean, I want to know more. I've seen ghosts. I know aliens exist. The government's telling me. I want to know more about these creatures, and that's my goal. I mean, I'll do my 9-to-5, but after I'm done with that, you better believe I'll be another 3-4 in the forest. So,
well, I'll tell you like this, bro. I got plenty of things I could do with my free time. Plenty of things.
Absolutely.
Plenty of things I could do with my free time. I'm not choosing to do this for any it's not profitable. It's not you know what I mean? Like there's nothing to gain from it except for the fact that I have a passion in it because of how amazing it truly is.
Right.
You know? And
Right.
the more people I can help along through that journey, the better. And I'm on my own as well, Come along. Otherwise, so be it, I didn't
Right.
I didn't ask to be tasked with the suburban Sasquatch duty, but it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. And
Not gonna
I'll tell
hide.
you,
Not gonna hide from it. Like you said, are you embarrassed? No, I'm not embarrassed.
no, nope.
I'm embarrassed for people who can't, who can't see past the blinders. I feel bad for them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I feel blessed that I'm able to share with the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I
It's like,
see
but you have an honesty about you. I don't mean to cut you off. It's really important though, and that's like you said about the hair is like how you treat everything, and that's important. If it turns up to be nothing, or it turns up to be something that we know about, or whatever the case is, so be it. That's fine. We just want to know.
Yeah.
We want to see. Like, not everything is going to be a slam dunk layup win. Oh, this
Right.
is Bigfoot, or this is this. This is something spectacular. But to get to those things, you have to do a lot of trial and error. And guess what? That's science. Science is experimentation. So for scientists to say, oh, they don't exist, how do you know? What experiments have you done? Because you do a million experiments about other things, but what Bigfoot experiments have you done, if any? Right? So we're
Right.
the ones that are actually doing the science.
Right. Right. And I know I can tell you 100% that not everything in the forest that goes knock, knock, boom, boom is Bigfoot. I know that. I know animals make kills out there. I know, there's tons of animals, probably ones that we don't even know about that live out there.
Sure.
But, if I find some hairs, maybe it's an animal that we don't know about. Maybe an animal moved in from a different state, right? Just it don't have to be a Bigfoot. Just tell me what it is so I can let everybody else know.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like I learned, I think yesterday, I learned Canada's dropping in wolves into Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, they might need it for the ecosystem. You never know why people do what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They do that stuff all the time. I mean, they stuff like that happens a lot.
Right.
I mean, especially in the business that I'm in, I constantly get emails and stuff, and I have to go to conferences and stuff. So yeah, that's stuff that's always happening around us.
Mm-hmm. And then look at what the starling has done over the years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Changed the whole course of the damn. It came from Europe or whatever, and just spread like wildfire.
Yeah. Damien, you're right.
Yeah.
Who that? Damien.
Damien said 76 Army Corps of Engineers acknowledged the I can't even talk tonight. I don't got my glasses on. Presence of Bigfoot in Spokane, Washington, in the Charleston Daily Mail.
Yeah. And they actually have in the Washington and Oregon areas, they actually have, when they do field training, there's actually a memorandum, if you will, that goes out to the guys when they go in the field for military exercises. And it tells them basically, if you encounter one of these, do not, and it has a to-do list basically. Don't feed it, don't chase it, don't yell at it, don't do anything. Just basically mind your business. Let it mind. You could probably find it somewhere. You could probably find it. I'll try and find it for you. It's pretty scarce because when these things legitimately hit the the air waves, they go away. But I could probably find one for you.
Oh, that is really cool. I didn't know they did stuff like that. Wow.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That'd be nice to have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever get an original, but you know, they had them out for a while.
Yeah. Pat, he has his thing on camera off right this second. He's eating dinner.
I'm making dinner. Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to look rude, so
We want to watch you cook.
Yeah, what you cooking, Mike?
right now I'm preparing steak tacos.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. I have flour tortillas, some yellow rice, pico de gallo, chopped up lettuce. I just chopped my steak up real small and thin. And now I'm gonna add the hot sauce and then throw the chopped up ground up avocado. It's not exactly guacamole, but I just take the avocado and whip it real nice.
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
Yeah, it does. Why don't you email me some of that?
You guys come to New York, I'll treat you good.
Sounds good. New York food.
Yeah, but you know, I will never force the topic on somebody. I will never force, and that was one of my things. And Trapper, you know this, you know, just because we find a print, we are not calling it a Bigfoot print.
Right. We don't
didn't
do
see
that.
what made it, you know, and I think that's honesty is the way to go. You know, we talked about casting them and keeping them, and I think everybody knows my thought on that. You know, if I seen one make it, we'd cast it. You know what I'm saying? We cast it, but haven't seen one. You know, I want to see one make it, and that's just my preference. You know, or I'll tell you, we'd have a little museum going on. We found a lot of prints. When you get out there, Trapper, and you get on something, you get us prints every single time. At least one or two good prints on a hunt.
Yeah, remember Trapper and I found one too. Remember that one we saw?
You did, yeah. I mean, even Mike said that he thinks there's a track down there in that creek bed. We found a whole track. We found a whole track way. Yeah,
that particular one that I actually circled it out. It looks so it was like hard ground. You know what I mean? And it was really hard ground, and the creek was iced over, and there was a little layer of snow, and it was pressed down in that, and it looked like it had 3 toes, which is odd.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe it had 5, and the other ones just were like lifted and didn't press down as much. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Where the water could have washed that away.
Yeah, it looked like it was whatever it was pretty fresh. Like we were on it, like pretty close behind because of how cold it was, and maybe that was just a warm spot. I don't know for sure. But and then that tree, that was the best part. I thought the upside down tree, because again the ground was so hard, and for something to take rip that tree off and then ram it upside down into the ground is just mind blowing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take it or leave it. You know, I think a lot of people really enjoyed that when I showed it on whatever I showed from our little expedition. Got a lot of people that time stamped it when we got to that point and was just like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty good. I mean, that's not a tree falling off, you know. No. And you could see where it was broken off from. So even if it broke off, it would have fell in a different place. So something, in my opinion, physically snapped it off, like, you know, put its shoulder under there, whatever, broke it off, and then, you know, flipped it upside down and somehow rammed it into the ground.
Oh yeah, the upside down tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And those have been documented in other areas. I think even Canada. I think there's some
Yes, yeah,
documentation.
many other areas. I don't think I've ever seen. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one prior to that. So that's why it was really fun for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pat says, "Hey guys, y'all remember the 3-toed prints y'all found? What do you think made them?" Ooh man.
Well, those were a little different, I think. Those 3 too. This was
Yeah.
this one. These ones we found that I was just talking about looked like, or human prints or oversized human prints. Like it looked like that kind of design, if you will.
Yeah.
And then just maybe the smaller toes just weren't pressed in as hard or something like that. I can't say. Like you just stated, we didn't see it make it, so we can't. We can only speculate.
Right.
Correct.
But you know what's weird? Earlier this spring, that same river that you all seen the prints in, I was away and then came back. That you and Trapper found those prints in is the same river that me and MT filmed early spring, the first thaw out. The water had to be in its 30 degrees or somewhere in there, and there were prints in the sand walking through the river. And there's no way human, it looked human, but I can tell you,
Well, we talked about we
is not walking through there.
no, and we talked about that. It's almost impossible, actually. If you've ever, I've lived on an island all my life. As soon as you step in water, in the sand in the water, and you step out of it, it starts to fill back in. You know what I mean? It starts to degrade. The footprint goes away. So if you're finding footprints in the water, that's amazing in itself. Something magical is happening there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something amazing is happening there. Now, and I told you, I think we talked about this when I was there. This guy in Australia I knew actually found them like that. He found a small trackway of something going into the water and coming back out. And one of them was actually raised. So one was pressed down and the other one was raised, like almost as if something walked upside down. Like the footprint was raised. A perfect footprint was raised about an inch and showing perfectly. And then it went back to being pressed down again. And they were and mind you, they were in a little bit of a wake area. Like there was waves coming in and they were still there. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. You can't hoax that kind of stuff, even if you tried. So I was mind blown.
Yeah. I don't know, y'all, but I gotta jump off.
Yeah, I was about to jet set myself. Dinner's done.
All right, yeah. Let's call it a night, y'all.
Hey, thank you for having me, Trapper.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for coming on. LIB.
Yeah, anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, Cameraman, thank you.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Yes, please. If people are watching, you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my stuff is, I'm either out by myself doing hiking, and I do got some hikes coming up this year. Actually, I've been trying to contemplate on what kind of hikes I want to do. There's going to be some long distance hikes coming up this summer, this spring. So, different areas, not around here. I'll be traveling. So, but yeah, and then got a lot of Bigfoot stuff coming up too, because I got to get back out in those woods.
Yeah,
you got to get back out there with you.
Areas.
So
I'll be back.
Yeah, LIB, you coming back up?
I'll be back. Yeah,
he's coming.
It was a blast when you were here, Mike. It really was.
I don't stop moving. Yeah, no, it was cool. I wish we had more time. Yeah.
All I'm going to
Oh,
try to
wow.
get this video dropped if YouTube releases it. It's still sitting there.
Yeah, I was on expedition for a couple of days too. It was just so windy, man. That's probably all I'm talking about is the wind. I don't even like it was so bad.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, real quick, I needed those couple days by myself with not filming and just being out there.
Oh yeah, you got to do it, bro. You got to do it. Breaks are more important than anything. A wise man told me that once, and he said, "Look," he said, "as much as you can't feel like you can't stop doing what you're doing for everybody else," he said, "you need to take that break. I call it hitting the reset button."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. With that being said, thank you, everybody. This is Matt with the Unknown Outdoors.
I'm the cameraman. We
Take
got to
it
get
easy,
Junior's
guys.
link out there. I'm going to post on the cameraman Facebook page Junior's link to his channel so you can all go watch his stuff. I sent him on a couple missions. You'll like it.
Nice. I'll be there.
Claim 2.
Claim
Yep.
2. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
That was a solo hunt.
I like that one. That was my intro, I think.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for watching.
Stay blessed.
Love y'all.